On one side, a master of silence. On the other, a music icon. Today, Buddha and Paul McCartney meet to talk about Let It Be, a debate between letting go and holding on, between inner silence and comforting melody. Two visions, one invitation. Let it be.
When I wrote Let It Be, I was going through a period of uncertainty, I felt the world had tipped upside down. Those words came almost as a whisper, like comfort from somewhere higher, something beyond my own self-centered mind.
Suffering arises when we identify with that uncertainty. You describe confusion and inner turmoil. That is dukkha. It is the dissatisfaction born from attachment to I and mine, constructs that are inherently unstable.
I wrote the song thinking of my mother. She always told me to let it be, but in a way that was calm, not resignation. It was more maternal advice from someone who had lived and understood, yet without grand speeches, just presence.
That presence you speak of, so calm, reflects wisdom that transcends verbal explanation. In the Dharma, we call this insight, panya, arising from mindful experience, beyond the need for discursive thought.
I think everyone can see themselves in that. Who hasn't felt lost? When I find myself in times of trouble, I wanted Let It Be to be an embrace for those in pain. Music connects souls in conflict.
This is the essence of practicing non-attachment. Suffering, birth, aging, illness, death is inherent to life. Recognizing it without clinging is the first step of the path.
Yes, and when we sing Let It Be, it's like letting go of the urge to fight the storm. It's not giving up, it's a creative surrender, almost musical.
The creative surrender you describe is a form of balance. In meditation, we observe disturbances without resistance. When we observe suffering without reaction, we create space. In that space lies freedom.
When I sing, when I find myself in times of trouble, I feel I'm speaking for everyone who's felt low. It's a chord of empathy, simple melody, raw emotion. It mirrors the other.
That sharing is metta, loving kindness. Your art echoes this intent, to show that even in suffering, wisdom arises from acceptance.
After that dream of my mother, I felt I needed to turn that message into something tangibly a song, a form of comfort. The words, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, came almost fully formed, like they were tucked inside me all along. It wasn't thought out, it was felt.
Your expression springs from a deep well. There is wisdom that transcends intellect. It cannot be conjured or explained. It arises from silence and contemplation. In the Dharma, we speak of direct insight, panya, beyond any discursive explanation.
It's funny the song was born without any analysis, just pure offering. I recorded on the piano and listened. It was pure consolation. I didn't wonder why, I just sang. The studio fell silent. There was a gentle, intuitive force there.
That inner silence, from which such words emerge, holds more power than 1,000 speeches. We teach in the Dharma the cultivation of noble silence and not mere quietude, but a state of deep, present mind where truth effortlessly blooms.
When I sing that line, I feel like I'm speaking to someone myself, you, anyone. It's an invitation to gentle surrender, not burying emotions, but embracing them with kindness.
And that kindness is the fertile ground for clarity and compassion. By not resisting what is, we avoid feeding our own suffering. Wisdom is recognizing our experience and letting it flow, making space for what truly matters.
At concerts, I see people crying, smiling. Someone holds another's hand. The musicians respect that moment. Nobody wants to turn it into something grandiose. It's simple yet profound.
In contemplative practice, we say wisdom does not seek applause. It whispers, look within. Those who move in this way work against the storm of the turbulent mind.
I used to be someone who wanted to control everything, career, fame, dreams. But the song came to remind me of the opposite. It's not about imposing rhythm. It's about feeling the rhythm that already exists there.
This creative surrender you describe is the gateway to insight. Wisdom and silence are inseparable. When we speak words of kindness, They carry the echo of 1,000 moments of stillness within them.
In the second verse, I wanted to speak directly to the wounded, those who smile outwardly but bleed inside. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, is a plea for unity in pain. I felt that if we shared that suffering, we might begin healing together.
By recognizing the suffering of others, we awaken compassion, karuna, which is more than empathy. It is the heartfelt wish to relieve the suffering of beings. This compassion is one of the 4 Brahmaviharas, a divine quality of mind that actively seeks to alleviate suffering.
Since then, I've seen that song become a kind of anthem in times of crisis, wars, tragedies, losses. People unite around "Let It Be," not out of resignation, but through a collective choice for compassion.
Compassion is not passive. Buddhist texts explain that it compels us toward kind action, striving to dispel the suffering of others. When your lyric mentions broken-hearted people, the song calls for that compassionate impulse.
On stage, I see strangers embracing, painting banners, crying together. It reminds me how art can trigger something bigger than reason, something soulful and collective.
Such collective manifestation springs from interdependence, patika samapad. No one suffers in isolation, everything is connected. When people agree in suffering, a networked awakening and a healing can take root.
It's remarkable that a simple song born from personal sorrow could echo so widely. I never anticipated that. I just wanted to offer some solace.
You've touched the practical essence of the Dharma, not only understanding suffering, but responding skillfully. When compassion and wisdom converge, they bring relief and connection.
And as more people experience that, realizing they're not alone, the song grows beyond me. It becomes theirs.
That shift from I to we echoes the flowering of universal compassion. By expanding our circle of care to all beings, we dissolve shared suffering and begin a collective healing.
There will be no answer, let it be. It was in the repetition of that phrase that I felt the heart of the message. It's not an empty promise, but a confident surrender. Amid the chaos around the Beatles, I kept reminding myself there might be an answer even if I can't see it yet.
That confidence resonates with the practice of inner silence. In the Dharma, we cultivate contemplative silence, not a void, but fertile ground where clarity emerges naturally.
I remember playing it on stage just after everything fell apart. The audience fell silent. But once the song began, I felt a wave of calm spread through everyone, even though none of us had found the answer yet.
To quiet the mind is to allow innate wisdom to reveal itself. Much like a gentle ripple on a still lake, truth surfaces when the mind is at peace.
When I wrote, "There will be an answer," it was more like a whispered prayer, affirming that pain isn't forever. It was a reminder that something greater walks with us, even in our darkest hours.
Exactly so. In silent meditation, we see that suffering arises and fades. If we don't resist it, it dissolves. The answer is already woven into the flow of existence.
Often the words come first, but it's in the silence that we truly grasp their meaning. What feels like a conclusion becomes an invitation to continue living more mindfully.
This trust in the mind's unfolding is part of developing equanimity, upekkha, a balanced state that neither clings nor rejects, but simply observes with clarity.
Looking back, I see that the song arcs from restlessness to confident calm. And though no one may know the answer, there's a certain peace in waiting for it to arrive naturally.
We transcend the ego when we rest in interconnected flow. That answer isn't a prize, it's the continued presence of life's unfolding. Let it be, a mindful surrender to what is.
When I sing, "Whisper words of wisdom, let it be," I envision something subtle, almost inaudible, a gentle call guiding us. My mother spoke that way, softly, lovingly, with no demands. I wanted this song to feel like a protective whisper, not an authoritative shout.
Enlightenment does not shout, it whispers. In the Dharma, we teach that the deepest truths reveal themselves to those who still the mind. When the clamor subsides, the quiet whisper of wisdom emerges.
I imagine the song entering people's hearts like a soft breeze, breaking through the barriers of anxiety. It's not a shock, it's an invitation to inner calm, a soothing gesture toward the self.
That soothing is born from samadhi, focused awareness. The whisper you offer through melody gently leads the mind to meet its own essence.
I've seen fans tattoo these words on their skin, write them in letters, hold signs at protests and vigils. It's fascinating, those words echo both personally and collectively, becoming a kind of mantra or prayer.
A mantra spoken with mindfulness, without tension, sows the seeds of presence and awakening. It's not force, it's gentle repetition that opens the mind.
And in the simplicity of that phrase, there's space for each person to find their own meaning. It could be solace, surrender, faith, depending on who's listening and at what moment in life.
That openness is key. In Buddhism, we speak of fingers pointing to the moon. The words are not the moon, only pointers. When you hear the whisper, you must seek the silence in which its meaning truly resides.
Exactly. Let it be isn't a command. It's like offering someone a candle in the dark, not telling them where to go, but showing there's warmth and light if they choose to take it.
And so we end, wisdom as a gentle breeze, present in quiet gestures. Let it be, whisper, listen. Within the silence you allow, what already lives inside you will reveal itself.